Hi friends, how are you? I hope you're doing well. I am well myself and blessed to be here for another Tuesday video. And I know I've missed a few. This is because there's been some changes in my life, and it so happens that every change affects our time together. But I'm grateful for those who keep coming back and just encouraging, so that I stay on the journey and you stay on the journey with me. And I'm just so grateful for each one of you, especially my brother John, Kamau, and Carol. Just so many people that I can't name all of them, but I'm just so glad that you've been there. Feb, a friend also who moved abroad. I'm just so glad, and I feel like this is one among the last in this segment, spiritual aspect of moving abroad. I do hope that I have helped in some little ways, and I think bottom line for me is to say that God can make anything possible, right? For us, it was a journey of 7 years of waiting, and then finally we came abroad after 7 years. And at the risk of making it sound like abroad is, the goal, right? As it is for so many of us, yes, we want to come abroad and just explore the possibilities of making it in life, especially after a hard journey, trying to make ends meet in our own countries, seeing our parents also go through it, like generations who have been through a lot, And I want to say, especially for the people who have been targeting, people who have no hope in things happening for them like others, people who have no influence, people who do not have tall relatives, tall friends who can do things for you. And even if you have, they're not able to help you in that manner, because sometimes God will just choose and pick people he will use to for his glory, so that they may have a testimony and tell people that it's possible. He will use the most impossible situations, just like the people we see in the Bible, Akina Moses, David, Joseph, so many people that God used impossible situations to raise to a different place, And like I said, it's not that I like that a lot of people are showing how life abroad is, but in the same vein, even if you say the places we come from are so amazing, you guys should come and see. People are like, why don't you go back? But we know what is ailing our countries. We know what is ailing our families, so many spiritual issues, so many physical issues, financial, economic, same thing. I just want to say, when you know that your journey has been so hard and you only had God to depend on, it will be the same when you get to this other side. So Karibu Ngambo, I just want to say, I want to talk about this, and like the way Paul was visiting different churches and talking to them, and also writing letters to them, having had communion with them, or formed a nice relationship with them, or even bad ones, and he would send letters to praise, to show gratitude, to also condemn. I would say in this particular video that when you come here, please don't ever leave God, there could be so many places that your opportunity will take you, someone like me, I never thought I would travel between Canada and US, and even now, sometimes I fantasize about going to, different other lands, and it's because I see now that it is possible. One thing I remember telling my kids is that, do you see what we've gone through getting these visas? Never again shall we have to beg and cry for visas. From now on, this will just happen. And let me tell you, we've had that as an experience. Just things working out, No more denials. No more denials have we experienced, And even when there are delays, things still come come through and you find a reason. So another level of just seeing God working and knowing that where you used to be is no longer where you are. And as much as it's challenging, there's enough light on that spot that you're standing on. So I glorify God so much, and I find that even the challenges that come after your major breakthrough, it is things that you find that you need God to help maintain. Say you've not had a kid for a long time, you've been searching and praying and crying to God, and then you get a child and perhaps they have health issues or just small problems here and there, yeah, because as babies usually have issues, some more, some less, yeah, but you can't say there's a baby who's never had problems. I remember one of my babies was born very healthy, very big, looking like he's able to just take on the world. But at 2 months, he had this flu. And he didn't know how to cough. He didn't know how to sneeze. Granted, you're born with these instincts, yeah? But he had the hardest time coughing. And I swear, just seeing him struggle to cough or sneeze, we would, do it for him, as if we're doing it for him. Times when he would get congested and we felt like just doing it ourselves so that he may get some relief, yeah. So very healthy baby, seemed like he couldn't get any issues, but 2 months he got that flu, and it was a lot. It was so hard to think about giving him antibiotics, but we had to. It is tough, but I'm saying there's no opportunity, no blessing that is so high that it will maintain itself. You need God to maintain you. You need God to help you through, because you will have times where you cross a certain bridge, yeah, and then on the other side you find some challenges, yeah, and you will always need God. And it is like so automatic that whenever you find challenges, you'll be like, okay, I'm back, Lord, what do you want me to do, yeah? And you realize that if he showed you once, it becomes an experience. If he made for you a way before, it's like a muscle memory. You know that he will do it again and again, yeah. You know that he will never let you go. And sometimes you can go on your own way. Maybe you don't pray as much. Maybe you don't have communion with him as much. Maybe you don't read his word as much, and you feel empty at the time of challenge, yeah. But he says to come, call unto me, and I will show you great and mighty things that you do not know, because he has gone way ahead of you. T.D. Jakes says, every road that God takes you on, every road that God takes you on is God tested. He's been there, He knows the end from the beginning. He knows everything about that challenge you could face in the new land, new challenges, new things, He knows everything. And it's important to just, seek him. Now, I wanted to tell you something, that when you get new experiences, you're still the same person. And same issues that you used to find, there will be the issues you find, the challenges you find will be fashioned in the same way. Just sometimes to see if you can pass these trials on a higher ground. Same challenges, same person, different ground, yeah. They'll be fashioned the same way. I remember when at some point in my life, I think God wanted me to learn something, and it was the time when I was dreaming a lot and discovering things about it's funny about dreams, because you can dream something and you've never experienced that, and so you don't know the meaning, yeah. And so I would dream about this thing, very scary, and I would say, oh my God, I've had a nightmare. But even at the time, because all I knew is that there is nightmares, yeah, I would keep wondering, why do I dream about this particular thing, a particular animal chasing me? And so after all this, it was a long journey from that point. And after all this, even coming to this side, one time I remember I was going through something, actually something in business, and it was a challenge, and I knew I would need help, yeah, just some confusing times. and I had similar dreams. And by now I knew the meaning of that kind of dream, yeah, particular kind of dream. But the way it was set up, it was like meant for me to understand that now this challenge is even bigger. It's like this challenge in bigger places or in higher places, yeah. And actually that animal that used to scare me and chase me was placed somewhere high on a tree. Like I looked up and I saw it on a tree, big, massive, and I knew, oh my God, this challenge has followed me here. Why? And even knowing that I've overcome it before, I knew I needed God so much. I knew actually that it was a matter of handing it to God, like, Father, see, this is chasing me again. Please handle it for me, And I love the song. Let your power fall when your name is called. Prove the doubters wrong. Fight this battle for me. What does it say? Fight this battle for me. Help my unbelief when I'm challenged and I don't believe anymore. It's like I'm so scared and I feel like I could give up because I'm tired of fighting this fight. I'm tired of finding these new challenges, The song says, fight these battles for me, help my unbelief, so I can tell my friends that you have won again. I know in these new lands, there could be so many challenges. Some people come here and just get lost and die, end up dying. Some people come here and get so broke that they even hide from their family and friends. And it's like you have to search for them everywhere. And it's just like it causes so much panic because these are new lands. They're not our lands, Some people come here and they just cannot fit in, and they have all these challenges, they have all these traumas, whatever they've gone through, it just won't let them go. What do you need in such moments? You need God. We need God in ways that we can't even explain. Like, we should never, even walk away. Sometimes you even find a challenge where you can't read. You can't seek Him. You don't even want to hear that music. You're like, apana, And I've seen such seasons and you're like, God. Usiponibeba nani atanibeba? If you don't carry me, who will? There's also another song that says, this guy talks at the end and says, you were with me before, you're here now, and you're with me. And even if I go through the problems that I've gone through before, I know that you will come and rescue me. You're a good father. One thing, you may leave your lands, you may leave your people, you may change scenes and locations, but one thing and one person who will never leave you is God. You can go with Him wherever, and He can make things so beautiful that even places you don't think you can be comfortable, He will make it comfortable by revelation. He will show you places where you can settle and dominate. He will show you places where you can work and thrive. We do need God. We need God in ways that we cannot even imagine. There's a huge problem that people talk about raising kids abroad, yeah? And how your kids change. They don't even recognize them, yeah? How their minds change. And also that happens all over the world as kids grow, yeah? But you find that up here it's so different, and we change also in ways that even our parents cannot relate. Like, is this the child that I know? Why are they talking like this? Because there's so much change when you come to this side. There's so much I would say coming into your own, finding yourself in a new, when you finding yourself in a new way, such that you have space to change into the person that, to customize your life, yeah? Because it is so necessary that when you go to a different place, you must customize your life and grab, because nobody is ever going to hand it to you. Grab the chance to design the life that you want, yeah? It will not be easy, but if you keep your focus, if you keep yourself submitted to God, you will see yourself rising and things changing, yeah, so that they work for you. I remember one time I was having a hard time just understanding kids in this season and also in this place. And although it was better now because we could discuss with dad, and I'm not a young man, I've never been a young man. I don't know what it takes, yeah, or how it feels, or the changes they could go through, yeah. And Habi and I would discuss a lot about, you know, how to handle our kids so that we don't lose them because now it's like we don't have the community, we don't have the village with us, yeah. So I remember just as we were discussing, thinking the prayer can do it. And just going before God, I saw him just turning things around and causing so much understanding, yeah. So I know that we live in a world, especially we Africans, where we want to with pride show that you're raising good kids, well mannered, you know, thriving. But it is all a process, right? And even when it is difficult, you find that God can step in and do it for you because he's all of your fathers. He knows you, he knows your children, he knows when it's challenging, he knows when you need to be stretched, when you need to grow, when you need to learn a new thing, and he doesn't want you to be stuck in a certain place. He will use anybody he needs to use for you to grow, yeah, to grow and understand and thrive. And I mentioned those children, I mentioned kids because it's a challenge that a lot of people face. And like I would say, just going back to times where I used to rely on Isaiah 54 so much, and coming into that verse that says, I will teach your children and great shall be their peace. But sometimes along the way, you're like so focused on getting assimilated, getting, you know, focusing on your career and all of that. And you don't know that your child is also doing the same in a new land, yeah? So many changes for them. Parents who are busy, you know, just challenges that your kids may be going through the most and not able to express. So all over the world, what do kids do? They show anger, you know, unless there's very good communication that they can open up to you. And that also is intentionally created, right? So whatever is happening, whatever changes, you know, whatever is new that is so foreign to you that you're wondering how to cope with it, yeah, and God is able and he is faithful. So I want us to read as we close to I want us to read from Philippians 4. It says, always be full of joy in the Lord. I say it again, rejoice. Rejoice in the Lord always. Let everyone see that you're considerate in all you do. Remember, the Lord is coming soon. Don't worry about anything. Instead, pray about everything. Tell God what you need and thank him for all he has done. Then you will experience God's peace, which exceeds anything we can understand. His peace will guard your hearts and minds as you live in Christ. And now, dear brothers and sisters, one final thing. Fix your thoughts on what is true and honorable and right and pure and lovely and admirable. Think about these things. Think about things that are excellent and worthy of praise. Keep putting into practice all you have learned and received from me, everything you heard from me and saw me doing. Then the God of peace will be with you. I think we should just stop there at verse 9. I think it's a very good place to stop. But bottom line, I'm just saying, let's never leave God, because he'll be with us in everything that we do, in everything that we pursue. In this land, some people have made it big. It might not be the same for you. For you, maybe it will be just, you know, survival. For you, perhaps it will be a journey of lessons, you know, or ushering the next generations here, you know. For you, sometimes it will be just hand and mouth, you know, with God growing you learning and discovering what your journey is all about, and just finding that sweet spot, yeah, where you have peace, right? For other people, it will be exploding in financial success or education or whatever it is, yeah. Either way, I'm sorry, don't leave God. God is so faithful to stay with you and expand you. He's the one who gives us wisdom to attain wealth, right? And he's the one who gives us peace, who keeps us in peace, yeah? So I will leave you at that. God bless you and keep you. Make his face shine upon you and give you peace, because that's very important. And see you on the next one.